Hello and welcome, friends, once again to the Enqueue Sports YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Bayern Munich have once again won yet another title of the Bundesliga, which gives us an opportunity to discuss a bit of football today. So we would be analyzing a few footballs and the science of the manufacturing of a football. So nowadays, what we see is that these sort of balls are really to the business. These are known as thermally bonded balls. These are bonded by heat, not by the stitching, as used to be the case in the years gone by. Now all the balls are made to look like this. This is a bazooka ball that was used in the 2014 FIFA Men's World Cup in Brazil. If you look at the panels, there are 8 panels in this ball, and all these panels are very tightly and closely bonded together with heat, which obviously prevents the leakage of air and the ball from getting damaged. It also helps the ball maintain its shape, and if you even try to deflate this ball, if you try to take the air out of this ball, you won't be successful in doing so, because this ball simply doesn't lose its air. When these balls are shipped out of Pakistan and they go to the FIFA games during the World Cups and during the several football leagues going around the world, these balls are shipped right in this particular shape. They have to be shipped like this because they can't be deflated. If you talk about the actual look of the ball, it has a golf grain structure. If you rub your nail over it, you are going to feel a roughness and these small golf grains on these balls, which obviously make this material a lot more durable. And in addition to that, it also helps the ball in preventing moisture from entering it. It makes it waterproof, it makes it mud proof, so you can easily play with this ball in muddy conditions, in rainy conditions. So this is basically an all condition ball. Similar balls come with different brandings. Adidas, Nike and Puma are the main spearheads when it comes to making these sorts of thermally bonded balls. If you come to the ball that was used at the FIFA World Cup in Russia in 2018, this ball is known as the Telstar ball, and it also contains 8 panels, thermally bonded panels, and there's of course a sort of a chip built in over here just to verify the originality of the ball. And the structure is more or less the same as the bazooka one, the same golf grain structure. Another thing which comes as an exclusive quality to the thermally bonded balls is the fact that there is a layer of cotton lining, nylon lining or polyester lining between the bladder and the top surface of the ball, which prevents the ball from losing its shape when it's being kicked around all the time. The surface leather is a synthetic leather called polyurethane, which is the leather used in the topmost quality of footballs. In cheaper variations, you can also see the PVC leather being used. But in these particular balls, the leather used is polyurethane. The bladder inside this ball is one single big bladder, which does not easily lose its air. In fact, you cannot deflate it, as I just mentioned earlier. The bladder is made up of 2 materials basically. It's either made up of latex, which provides a good feel, and it's also made up of butyl. No, the butyl leather is the more expensive variation because of the fact that it does not lose its air. It's very resistant to the loss of air, and hence it helps maintain the desired shape of the ball. More or less, both bladders are used, and just a brief summary of the balls which look pretty much similar to this one. There's this Torfa brick ball that used to be used at the German Bundesliga. Pretty much the same shape, same 8 panels, the golf grain structure, same butyl bladder, and the polyester lining in between the polyurethane outlines and the interior butyl bladder. There are a lot of good colors coming in these balls as well. This is a very attractive neon green color, which is preferred mostly during night games because it is easy to spot under the floodlights. If you look at the other variations which are being made nowadays, this is a ball being manufactured by Nike nowadays. It's the same golf grain structure, also has a very fine butyl bladder inside it. But if you see closely, this is not a thermally bonded ball because you can clearly see the stitches over here, the seams over here, the threads. You can easily spot them. And this ball will one day, more or less, if it is going to lose shape, it might even tear apart, it might get punctured, and on top of that, you can easily deflate it whenever you want. So this particular ball is, although it's an all conditions ball, you can use it in somewhat rainy conditions. But if you take it into too much heavier rains and muddy conditions, I'm afraid the water might just enter through these stitches if you look closely. This is the main reason why these stitched balls are much cheaper in price as compared to the thermally bonded balls. So this was a brief overview about the footballs. About the footballs with golf grain structures, thermally bonded as well as stitched balls. Now we come to the other variation, which is a shiny surface. It does not contain any golf grains. If you look closely, it is shiny. It also contains a lot of seams and stitches. So it is a normal stitched ball, a high quality ball with the butyl bladder and all the good qualities required to maintain the shape and quality of the ball. But nonetheless, it can lose its air, it can get deflated and punctured as well. And the polyurethane material used in the manufacturing of this particular ball is just around 1.2 to 1.3 millimeter in size, whereas the one used for the thermally bonded balls here was around about 1.8, 1.7, 1.8 millimeters. These materials are mostly manufactured in China. There's a material known as the crocodile material, and the aniline material from China. So this was a brief overview about the footballs, and just as we move on with our shows, we are going to shed more light on different size of footballs as well. There are size 4 footballs coming up in the market as well, used for the futsal or indoor football as you call it. There are size 3 footballs as well, size 2 footballs as well. I can just show you an example. Here is a simple size 2 football, mostly used by kids. And obviously you can't maintain the same parameters, the same qualities when you start manufacturing smaller sized balls. For that reason, the smaller sized balls are not always endorsed by the FIFA Federation. But the size 5 balls are obviously FIFA endorsed. Now there are a lot of balls being manufactured here in Pakistan, in Sialkot, which are not complying with the FIFA standards. They are either lighter in weight or they are smaller in size, they start losing their shapes. One thing I tell you, the standard weight for a FIFA compliant ball is size 5 ball is supposed to be somewhere between 400 to 450 grams. Anything below it after getting inflated, of course, is not compliant with the FIFA regulations, I'm afraid. There are a lot of things we need to cover when we talk about footballs and football equipment, which we are definitely going to cover in our upcoming shows. We'll be covering football shoes, which probably they look like these when you play with studs, and they can also look somewhat like these ones, which are the grippers used for indoor football or when you play on the turfs or places where studs aren't allowed. But for that purpose, you need to keep subscribed, keep watching and supporting our YouTube channel. You'll get to learn a lot right on this channel, right under this roof, in our upcoming episodes. I look forward to seeing you then. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.